This is a video that I feel is long past due and needed to be made a long time ago by yours truly. Hey YouTube, it's Matt here. The fact that I can even say, hey YouTube, it's Matt here, I owe that to somebody, okay? Not 100%. But there's a motivation that is there that somebody inspired me to go above myself, to do different, to do better. And I have to give it to this guy up here in the corner. Now, where this is coming from, Dave Bratton, who is a great friend of the channel, a great human being, he sent out this post. He wanted people who, for some reason or another, kind of owe Regie a debt of gratitude to, hey, put out a thanks for all the things that Regie has done for so many people. And that really got me thinking, you know what, maybe we need to do something a little bit more. So that's what this video is. This is a little, tribute to what my friend Frog Boy calls the Regie effect, okay? Now, if you guys don't know who Frog Boy is a wonderful human being who paints recreations of comic book covers. I myself have one. It's up on my wall right up there, and I'll put a picture in the video. He has been doing this for a while. What he did was he ended up meeting Regie at a show, ended up talking to him, and wanted to show him some examples of what he did, and Regie played it on one of his channels, or displayed it, talked about it. He still has one that he puts in the background of his channel a lot. Anyhow, Frogboy's been busy for the last 3 years doing recreations because of the word of mouth, because of the exposure that he was given by Regie. So, Frogboy is the guy who come up with the term, the Regie effect. Or a couple of other people that Regie has helped over the years is Doug and Dave Bratton. We talked about Dave, who came up with a great idea of showing our gratitude, but Doug, who is an accomplished writer all in his own right, he pitched an idea for a comic book to Regie. He goes, hey, I have a really cool idea, and it's honestly, right now I'm super excited about this. Issues 1, issues 2 are fantastic. I can't wait for issue 3 of a comic book called Isolation that Doug pitched to Regie. Now, Regie started a publishing company based upon the work of Doug Bratton. And here's a couple of covers for issue number 2 of Isolation. But it doesn't just end there. They also co-wrote a book, Smart Comic Collecting Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. Now, this is issue number 2, and there are multiple covers of it, but there's also issue number 1. And why I bring this one out specifically as opposed to some of the other covers, this cover was done by a super dope artist named Dave Bratton, okay, who is a really good guy. But, you know, Doug got to help write. He did write Isolation. He helped write the Smart Guides to Comic Collecting. Dave got to do a little bit of the art. Adam Schrimner also got to do some of the art on that. But he's also helped other people, okay? You know, Delia Gunderson. A lot of people in the comic book community now know of Delia Gunderson and the great art that she does. And guys, Regie kind of made that happen. He's, like I said, he started his own publishing company, Soldier Publishing, which is just starting out, you know, right now, and it's a very small company at the moment, but hopefully it continues to expand and it continues to grow. Now, for my own personal collection, you know, the term influencer, I'm not a big fan of this. I would not call him an influencer. He has never, you know, influenced me to do something that I really didn't want to do, but sometimes he's inspired me to make decisions that I want. Now, I have bought some books off him that were kind of gold books that honestly he was selling a little bit below market value. And so I went on to his website. I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn. And he had this book out there. And honestly, I wanted this, and I was able to buy that right off him. And then there was another Batman book, okay, that I had really wanted, okay. This, the Batman, the Killing Joke. There's just something iconic about this cover. I love this, so I made this a part of my collection. Another object that I got from that RegieCollects.com website is a Comics to Go box, okay? Now, guys, I kind of realize that in a weird way I'm doing a commercial almost for a YouTube channel and also for that website. But here's the truth about why I'm actually talking about this box in my video. Guys, I'll use this whenever I'm going to my LCS. I will have bags and boards in here without any comic books in them. So whenever I pick up a few comics at the shop, I can just really quickly bag and board them, put them in this box safely. Whenever I get out to my car, I can set this on the seat next to me, and I know that my comic books are safe. But this has absolutely got a lot of conversations going in a comic book shop. Everyone wants to know what it is. People are questioning, hey, where did you get that? And so I always have a nice little story, because one of my favorite things to do in this hobby is just meet different people. So what he did was Yu-Gi-Oh! Smith, who did the art for this, Regie had a variant cover made, and it was a gung-ho book, and this was a variant cover to issue number 7 of the gung-ho series. But what he did was he made a box out of it, and it's kind of cool. But guys, just the fact that I'm talking about an artist who has got a lot of work because of Regie, that is another part of that Regie effect that Frog Boy was talking about. Now, I will have to admit, I was influenced a little bit because I kept hearing about this comic book on a Regie Collects YouTube show. And it was the Blue Marvel, okay? The Legend of the Blue Marvel, okay? And this was a book that I'd never heard of, and I kept hearing about how good of a story it was. It's a 6-issue miniseries that was done in the year 2009. Well, I ended up going online and I read this series. Guys, I am telling you, I see why he was bringing it up on his show a lot. It is one of the most powerful stories that I have ever read in comics in a short mini-series format. 6 issues, really well written. I couldn't put it down. I just kept flipping, you know, I told you I was doing it online, I was reading on iPad. I just kept flipping to the next page, the next book. But I ended up going out and buying this book just because of hearing about it on the channel and then reading about it, okay? This is one of my favorite books in the collection, just because of how powerful the story is. Now, this book right here, I think that this has a chance, and I've talked about it, I've actually had a video. I think this book might be able to get pressed up to a 9.8. I actually have a feeling that I'm going to be sending this off to be pressed so that I can resubmit it to CGC. Now, another part of the Regie effect, okay? We're going to keep on talking about that idea, that term. Hip Comics, okay? Infinity Comics is an online platform to sell comic books, or forgive me, it's a store, and they use the Hip Comics platform in order to sell them. They were running a special for whoever bought a comic book, and I don't know if there was a price on it, but they were going to give away 3 high-grade key books that I absolutely love dealing with the black suit. Secret Wars number 8, probably my all-time favorite series in comic books is Secret Wars, the original Secret Wars. Well, Secret Wars number 8 was the first appearance of the black suit in continuity. Okay, there was a couple comics that came out before chronologically, but in the storyline, Secret Wars number 8 is where the black suit came from. Well, I ended up buying a book off of Infinity Comics, off of Hip Comic platform. I ended up buying this book right here, this Gun Honey. Okay, this was an Adam Hughes variant. I just absolutely love the art style Adam Hughes has. But anyhow, I ended up getting this dope high-grade copy of Secret Wars number 8. That it might come back a 9.8. I have a feeling I'm going to end up pressing this one myself, sending it down to CGC. We'll see what happens with that, but I absolutely love this book. I actually have a copy of it already. I love the whole black suit storyline where he ends up, or the black suit becomes Venom. Just love that storyline, how it transpired over a 4-year period. So I actually have a display up here, and I have a copy. It's an old label 9.4. Maybe that thing needs cracked and repressed. I don't know. Old labels. Not every book needs to be cracked and repressed, but some of them are just never pressed originally. And if there's no killer breaks in it, they might be able to benefit from a press. Another book in my collection that honestly I think I bought because Regie kinda just gave me the initiative to go ahead and do it. I always loved this book, okay? And you know what? Right there, it's a nice, cool yellow label. Who somebody else kind of inspired me, but I'm going to kind of roundabout give it away to where Regie Collects is kind of how I got inspired to do this. Now, some of you guys that watch this channel, you know Master Blaster, okay? Master Blaster lives in the Yellow Ocean, okay? The waters are warm in the Yellow Ocean, he tells us. But anyhow, what he does is he loves to collect signatures. You know, they were doing a private signing at CGC. This was not the very first private signing at CGC. I do believe that was a Todd McFarlane 2019 private signing. But anyhow, Jim Steranko was down there. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to miss out on getting a signature from Jim Steranko. So I ended up sending this book off down to CGC to get a yellow label because Master Blaster was talking about getting signatures a lot, and I didn't have any signatures in his collection until this book. So, super glad that I met people that helped give me a new insight into the collecting hobby. The video that's above my shoulder here, that's one of Regie's live streams. So, the chat in the live streams are absolutely wonderful, okay? Got to meet a lot of great friends through Regie, okay? A lot of great YouTube friends, just regular good people. Tina is an amazing human being. And guys, I actually thought about who I was going to name as far as my friends. I cannot do it. Regie has over 19,000 subscribers, and I know a lot of them, clearly not all of them. I myself have 1,500 subscribers. I know most of you, not all, because not everyone who is a subscriber has left comments, but guys, there's just so many people that I cannot name all the great friendships that I've made, but definitely that is part of the Regie effects. This channel that you're watching right now, okay, 100% inspired by Regie Collects. Now, I'm going to get back to the YouTube and how I was inspired to have a YouTube channel, but the reason I ever did a YouTube channel, I never thought I was going to have a channel. Regie had a contest. It was a comic book room makeover, okay? The room that you guys see, and guys, I'm going to end up dropping a new video because there's always upgrades being made to the room, but I'm going to do another comic book room tour video here in the near future. But he did his very own comic book room makeover contest, okay? And what you had to do is you had to submit a little video, okay, less than 5 minutes long. And honestly, I did not plan this, but my video was exactly 4 minutes and 59 seconds, okay, of that 5-minute span, okay? I don't know how I did it, but it just worked out perfectly. So, his subscribers voted for who they thought was the most deserving. Now, guys, this room, and I'll talk about it in the room tour video. Guys, this room was a part of the house, but it was like a storage room that the original owners had used. The original owners were the guy, he built this house by hand, by himself. This was just never meant to be living space. It was meant for Christmas decorations and whatever else, whatever type of storage that they wanted. So very similar to an attic space. It's not an attic, there is an attic above me, but very similar to attic space. So I ended up taking this room and making it what it is. Well, what he did was there was some prizes. Collectors Resources did these great frames. They shipped them out to me for free. There was Collector Mount, okay, which I used to mount comic books. There was Comic Book Price Guide that did a really great job. Guys, it was a wonderful thing. But Reggie himself sent me a gift card from Home Depot for a couple $100. And honestly, it was amazing because now that couple $100 did not redo this whole room, but I have been talking to my wife about redoing this room for years. For a long time, I'm like, you know what? I really do need to remodel that room, make it look exciting and fun to be in. And well, that contest, what it did was it inspired me to do better, okay? To make this room the space that it is today. And I'm very proud of this room because, I don't know, I just feel like so many community members were supporting the whole journey of making this room what it was to what it is. Now getting back to YouTube. This YouTube channel, all it was at the beginning, people were asking me and on Instagram and in emails like, hey, how's your progress going? What's happening? Like, what did this company send to you? And so all I was doing was just filming videos, and my son Spencer, who is the greatest cameraman on YouTube, was filming me unboxing, whatever the companies were sending. And then I started to upgrade the room. I started making these comic book drawers that I have in the room. And it was just a way for me to show people what it was, what I was doing. I really had no plan on keeping it going forward, but I found out I really enjoyed the interaction. I really enjoyed talking to people online through the comments. And so I just kept making a couple more videos just to see, get my feet wet. And right now I have a really nice channel that I'm very proud of. And honestly, that is a Regie Collects, a Regie effect from Regie Collects, okay? But there's some other YouTube channels that I know that are out there. Don, Sully 2 Kings, a great friend of mine who, actually, another segue, he sent me a Walmart pack. And this is a book that I was wanting, okay? Spider-Verse #1. I ended up pulling that out of the pack. I ended up pressing it, sending it off to CGC. It came back at 9.8. Love that book. But he has this great YouTube channel, Black Comic Characters, that is so well done, so professional. And he talks about history of comic books and just really gets involved and in-depth in the comic book hobby. Love his channel. Give that a check. Also, Anachronic Comics. Guys, I'm on a monthly show on Joe, Anachronic Comics YouTube channel. It's just called Anachronic Comics, not Joe. But Joe is the guy who runs it. Now, anyhow, I'm on there with multiple other people. There's Wayne, Squirrel Madness. There's Alan, Climate Comics. There's Madam, Master Blaster. There's Joe. And then there's this guy right here who's on that same show. Love that. Now, all of us are really good friends, and we would have never met each other if it wasn't for Reggie. So the community building aspect is another really big part of the Regie effect. This is not necessarily completely Regie inspired, but it kind of is, okay? Well, I got a YouTube channel, and I've met actually some artists, okay? James Tinian IV, I actually got to meet him, talk to him. I interviewed him for a YouTube video that I did. I also was watching Reggie interview a very famous artist, Creighton Klein. Creighton Klein. I always do that. Clayton Crane, okay? It's not Creighton Klein, it's Clayton Crane. Anyhow, sorry about that. It's a long video, and I'm going to make it longer by putting that in there, but I think I'm leaving it in. Anyhow, so I told you that Master Blaster has invited me, it has kind of got me to want signed books, okay? Wants the yellow label. Now, what I did was I was watching Reggie interview Clayton Crane on this, I actually forget the name of it, but it was an online comic book convention. This was during the summer of 2020 when the world was still pretty much on lockdown. So he had this great question. What was your favorite cover that you have ever done? And Crane's response was Sensational Spider-Man number 32. And I have a lot of Spider-Man series in my collection. I actually love Spider-Man. I try to collect every single Spider-Man title. I can't do it. There was a point back in like 2004, 2005 where that wasn't a completely unrealistic goal, because ever since the mid 2000s to today, there are so many series. But this was one of those series that I put on the pull list. Honestly, I never read this series. I've still never read the series. I have a lot of comic books that someday I'll get to and I'll read, but I don't know. Maybe I won't all of them. But anyhow, I ended up talking to Clayton Crane, and I interviewed him on a YouTube channel. Got a dope Infinity signature. And then I got another, the Murder Infinity signature right there. Guys, I just bought this book and paid for that signature and sent it off CGC. Honestly, the reason I did this was just to pay for the signing and everything. Whenever I came back from CGC, I can flip it, and then pay off whatever I paid to get that signing done. Well, I ended up really digging the signature, really digging the book. And honestly, the cameraman Spencer said, "Oh no, Dad, you gotta keep that. That's like really cool." So that was another cool experience. Just another little thing that I like to add to the Regie effect. Guys, this has been a long video, but honestly, it's been overdue. This is just my appreciation to a good human being, a nice person, a good husband, a good father, a great YouTuber. Actually, he's great on everything, okay? YouTube he might be good at, but he's a great father, great husband. But guys, I'm just playing. You get the point. He's just a good human being that I absolutely appreciate. I wanted to make a video. Thanks to Dave Bratton for giving a great idea. But guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, put a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But I want to thank everybody for watching, and you have a great day.